Okay, we're live. So, hi guys, welcome back to Raina Teas. Um, in this show, my companion and I, we will discuss curses and the fact that yes, we will have curses for sale. We will be selling our services to clients who
Yeah.
need work done, who are serious about work. Okay. Um, should we talk about the prices right now or not?
No, I don't think so. You
So if
you
you're
can hit us up
interested,
for a consultation for
yeah,
that.
hit us up for a consultation if you're interested, and we'll talk about the pricing and everything. And just to let you know, it will not be cheap, okay? Um, Magic, this working, it's not like something that you can just buy for $2 or $5, honey. So yes, be prepared to shell out the coins because this is 100% authentic, okay? 100% accurate work over here. We don't play. We
So I want to talk before we even get into that. I want to talk about the disclaimer of our services as far as curses, and I talked about this on our. Well, another thing we want to mention to you guys is we are on Instagram at Raina Teas. We'll leave the link in the description box, okay, where you guys can check out our thing and DM us if you guys are interested in services. Bam. But I mentioned this when I did my working with the Intranquil Spirit video that's also on this channel. And I want to talk about a bit of a disclaimer if you're going to come to someone and pay for a curse. You need to be very, very serious about this work. You need to understand that once this shit is set loose and set into motion, there is no turning back. Okay? So whether it's against an ex-lover or a friend, a former friend, or your boss or whatever, just know that the shit is gonna be handled. And when we say handled, that means left open to the dark, the dark void. That person could have something as mild as having their life turn to shit and ruin, everything they touch turn to ruin, to as extreme as bitch being injured, being terminally ill, or even death. And you have to be ready to wear that shit.
Yay, to carry that, okay? Because
Okay.
this is real.
So go ahead, and I just want to set that disclaimer
No,
out there that
definitely, absolutely. So you guys, once again, we are open for sale. We're open for business. We will be, selling our abilities for the public. So anybody who's interested in curses, I mean, and we just won't be doing curses. We'll also be doing love work, money work. But this video is about curses. So we want to basically talk about that and talk about our prowess because we're selling this because we have put in and because we have collected heads, okay?
yes.
We're proficient at this. So we're going to talk about our history. We're going to give you guys a little story time on our curses that we have done on people and the results and all of those things. So we're going to break it down and you will see by the end of the show why we are good at what we do and why you should come to us when it comes to putting curses on people. So let's get it started. Let's talk about what's going on as far as like curses. So do you want to give like a breakdown on what a curse is, or do you just want to like go in?
How do you want to go about it? I mean, we could do a breakdown on what a curse is. So, a curse to me is a parasitic energetic force in which it's birthed in a ritual of darkness. Okay, it's birthed in a ritual that is bred with the emotional intensity of hatred, resentment, a want for vengeance, a want for vindication, conviction, and yeah, just just banefulness. And if that, just to touch on that, you have to understand that there is just not pure white light in this world, okay, and in this universe. There is darkness, there is chaos, there is entropy, okay, and that is what the universe was founded upon. So that is her true nature. That is
Absolutely.
who the fuck the core she. That is who she is at the fucking core. Okay, she's a malevolent bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us have that power to tap into that and conjure that energy. And if
Yeah.
you know her, and you know her on a microscopic, like the microcosm and the macrocosm, if you know her on a microscopic level, you know that viruses and parasites of the tangible, germ type that are real, okay, they also have an astral counterpart. Okay, so just like a virus or a parasite can hijack the body of an animal or a person and just drain their life force, have them go crazy, lose their mind, just deteriorate. The same thing can happen on an astral level, and that is what a curse
Yes,
is.
absolutely. That's beautiful.
That is what a curse is. So when we lay a curse onto someone, curses can be very orchestrated. Okay, they can be orchestrated to the very fine detail of you saying, I specifically want this person to XYZ, get in a car accident, lose their house, lose their job. Or they can be, just open ended to where you just want to see that, you just want that person's life dipped in utter blackness, and just watch them fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
But it is that astral parasitic entity that, is bred in the ritual with us, and then we send out to
Yes.
latch onto that person.
Mm-hmm.
And once it latches onto that person, it festers. Okay, it festers and it grows and it manipulates and it destroys and it drains and it just fucks shit up. Okay, so that's my perception of a curse. I think you you sound like you like that.
Yeah, it's a really, really good description of what a curse is, And I just want to touch up on the aspect that you were talking about, as far as like what the universe is based on, and it is death. It
Mhm.
is destruction. It's that's what it's about. It's not this whole positive vibes only bullshit that humans have come up with. The true nature of everything on this planet and this universe is to destroy, is to take over. It is loud and just that's what the universe is. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I feel like curses are an extremely powerful tool to use.
Mhm.
Okay? Very
Mhm.
much is, but you have to know what you're doing, because and you have to be responsible, for whatever happens, and you have to accept and know, this person dies, if they're in a car accident and they're extremely disfigured, if relatives start dropping like flies, you have to carry that, and you have to laugh. You have to be gleeful, just completely exhilarated and
Mhm.
energized that that you're magic, or that you paid for someone to destroy this person, and you're watching with your own very eyes. You need to be just relishing in that. Okay,
Yes.
that's the only way this is gonna work. So you please know what the fuck you're doing, because you can't turn this back. And don't call us talking about, oh, can you remove it, can you take the curse off, because I don't want them to get fucked up anymore, and I think I love him. And no, it can't be removed. You're gonna have to deal with
If
it.
that's the case, you're gonna have to pay extra. You're gonna have to, and that is even no guarantee. That is even
Yeah.
no guarantee.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
no refunds. No refunds,
Oh
okay?
no,
No
no,
refunds.
no.
So definitely, please think before you contact us, because we don't deal with bullshit, okay? We don't deal with the back and forth, and unsureness and insecurities. So just please be aware of what you're doing, and be certain 100%, okay? So let's get it started, and let's talk about our past and our conquests, okay? So I'll begin, and I'll talk about my introduction to curses, okay? Because I didn't just wake up and just, become a master at doing curses. I didn't just wake up and just become proficient at this aspect of deep magic, of dark magic. This is something that I learned, that I delved into, that I dove into, that I practiced, and I had the fire inside of me, and I had the conviction and I had the will for this to happen. Okay, so my introduction to this aspect of magic goes back to 2000, and I would say 11, 2010/11, like right December, because I was on break. I was on break from school. Okay, and that was my introduction to deeper, darker, goetic magic. Um, but the curse aspect, okay, it wasn't soon after, and I was dealing with an instructor, and we'll call her Rebecca, okay? So Rebecca was my one of my art teachers, okay? And it seemed like this lady had it out for me. You know, when you look at her, you see this pretty, 30 something at the time, 33-year-old white woman. She seems like so nice and angelic looking, like, wow, this lady seems cool, but 20 minutes into knowing her, and you find out she is the devil incarnate. This is a demonic woman who seems to have it out specifically for me. Okay, she sees me and she sees a weakling. She sees somebody who she can feel like she can talk down on and step on and mistreat, okay, and take for granted. She thought I was just this really nice guy who didn't talk too much, and that she could kind of like shit on and just pat me on the back as she shits on me. That's what she thought when she saw me, okay? And this lady had it in for me so deeply that she wanted to fail me, okay? And this is college, university that we're talking about. That's thousands of dollars, about 2,000 to 3,000 per semester that I'm paying for, okay? And I had to do something about it because she was specifically driving other instructors. She was specifically driving the car in a way, or the vehicle, to try to destroy me in this school, in the whole system of the whole graphic design thing that I was in. She was definitely, honing in on me and wanting to see my destruction. So one day I was in my room and I had enough, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, this ritual was more intuitive than it was me looking in a book, because, we are intuitive magicians, intuitive witches. We don't really use books to drive us when it comes to ritual work. Yes, we may look at a book and be inspired and see, okay, well, I see how this person did it, but at the end of the day, we're going to follow what our spirit directs us to. So I had her handwriting. I had her handwriting from some paperwork that she graded, and I used it in a black magic ritual where I basically, I guess I could give the light steps or whatever. Well, you know what? No, how
No
about not?
steps.
How about
No
not? So I
steps.
basically, yeah, I did the ritual, and she eventually got fired. Okay, she got fired from her job. She was pregnant at the time, and the child that
Tell about the dream. Tell
oh
about the
yeah, the
dream.
dream. So okay, so she was pregnant at this time, okay, and this was during the time that was very a lot of turmoil and things of that nature. And I had a dream that I was at a party, or I was at a gathering with friends and things like that, and we were sitting around a table, drinking and all of that. And I see her come in with her husband, and she hands over the child to me. And I'm like, okay. And the child throws up on me. I remember in the dream, the child threw up on me. And I remember like the child sitting on the floor, like not being able to walk. And I had that dream. So time passes by, okay? So she ended up getting fired from the job, okay? And when she gave birth, time passed by, and I went on her blog. And see, this is one thing about when you practice magic, sometimes, or a lot of times, you have to kind of look at your prey, or watch your prey, okay, and see what's going on, what they're doing. So yeah, I did do some digging, and I went to her blog, and it turns out that her child that she gave birth to, they had some sort of speech impediment that they could not speak. So the child, you know, this might have been like a few years later because the child was now like maybe 2 or 3. And the child still did not speak. The child was not walking. And she was basically saying, oh, you know, Timothy's just being Timothy. This is just how he is. And, you know, he'll walk and talk in his own time. But no, boo-boo, okay? Your womb
He
was
was
cursed.
slain.
Yeah,
He was
your
slain.
womb was cursed. Okay, it was. You were cursed. You lost your job. And not only her, but a slew of instructors lost their jobs because I didn't go in on her only, okay? I also went on this other instructor who slighted me. And yes, you slight me, you will get laid out. I'm very petty when it comes to this black magic thing, okay? I will lay you out. You know what I'm saying? So she did slight me. She tried to shame me in front of the class. She did. She tried to shame me, and she did shame me in front of the class. She did. And I was like, bitch, you will pay for that. You will pay. You will pay for that. So she also got it, and she got fired too. Okay? And let me see. So there's that one. I also went in on, we could talk about Nook and Cranny.
Wait, no, like let's just do an introduction and then I'll do mine.
Okay.
And then let's talk about after, because bitch, if we go on about all our curses, we're gonna be like on this shit for an hour.
Okay.
But so basically by the end of the gist, you realized that you were proficient in slaying and curses, basically.
Well, because I had the conviction, because you know she was really coming for my education. She was coming for my money. I could have been kicked out of the school. I could have been kicked out because of this. You know, and it's like she once said, like, oh, if you weren't such a nice guy, you know, I wouldn't feel so like kind of bad about this. You know, she kind of felt bad about having to put me out there. And, you know, the thing is, it's like in the school that I went to, there wasn't that much communication between instructors and students. So I was kind of like in a loop concerning a few things about the whole art thing. And instead of coming to me, you know, as a grown woman on the side and being like, listen, you know, this is how you got to do it, you know, this and this and this. I see that you're, you know, you're not getting the hang of it. Not even that, but like kind of like talk to me on the side and, you know, like adult to adult. But no, she went behind my back. She had to get 7 to 8 instructors and have a fucking meeting about the shit. You know what I'm saying? She orchestrated that shit. Like, why couldn't you come to me on your own and kind of like told me, well, look, this is how you got to do it, you know? Because the thing is, I just didn't know. I mean, this is like little extra information. I didn't know that we could use images from the internet. I thought we had to come up with the images, so I didn't have, you know, pictures. I drew everything. It was more like a art type of portfolio that I was giving, with graphic design mixed into it. But I didn't know that we could use images from the internet because I thought it was copyright, you know. But they're like, no, since it's, you know, you could. So that's all I needed to hear. Why didn't anybody tell me that? That's all I needed to know. Nobody ever told me that shit. So why couldn't she?
So basically, she got it. She got it because she tried it and she was trying to come for your livelihood and, you know, fuck up your money.
And I had to call the spirits. I had to call,
get her together.
And I got her ass slayed. So that very much, and I'm proud of that to this day. That is the jewel of my crown. Okay, what I did to her. It is the jewel of my crown, right in the middle. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, okay. And I'm happy.
All right, so now I'm gonna go in and give my tea. All right. The first one, I think it would have to be Miss Starsky, honey. Miss Starsky, honey. So I was about like 18, 19 at the time, possibly 19, and I was renting a room from a friend, okay? And we're gonna call this friend Starsky. And Starsky had a boyfriend, but also Starsky was fucking with this, oh my God, this waste of a space of a human being on the side, okay? And we'll call this other person Dave, okay? So Starsky and Dave at the time they're older than me. So me being 19 and needing a place to stay, renting this room, I had 2 jobs or whatever, I was working, and I'm like paying, okay? way more than what the fucking room was worth. But okay, like I needed the stability, girl. For me, stability and bitch, a place to rest my head is important. So paying for this place. And in the beginning, Starsky was very like, oh, I'm gonna take you under my wing. You know, you're new to the city. It was like I had just moved to this city, which is next to the city that I was born and raised in. It was like the next city up. And it was very known for its gay liveliness and things like that. So it had a big gay community, pride and everything was hosted there, things like that. But I didn't know anybody. Okay, and this was kind of like my, you know, first step into the real world and the gay world. So Miss Starsky took me under her wing, met all of her friends, and was very cool in the beginning. But you know, the sad thing about some people is they're very predatory by nature, and they tend to prey on the weak. They tend to prey on the naive. They tend to, you know, try to, you know, wean a person under them so they can manipulate them and extort favors, extort money. And the bitch was, yeah, like basically it got to a point where she was extorting money. Not only was I paying rent, but then she wanted me to like, oh, you know, chip in for this, chip in for food. You know, bitch, I'm buying my own food, but you want me to chip in for this food. And then Dave, her little friend, her little side piece, okay, he was like trash, okay? He was a crackhead and he was trash, and this bitch was seeing him, and the nigga stole some money from me, okay? He stole some money from me. And you know, when I confronted Miss Starsky about it, it's like the bitch, it's like she almost kind of leaned it towards it being my fault for not putting my money away, which my money was away. The motherfucker like went in my bag, like went in my shit, went in my bag and took the money out. Okay. And didn't have no accountability. No, oh, I'm gonna ask him, I'm gonna check him. Like I had to force her. I was like, girl, you need to go check your friend, because if you don't check your friend, the next time you bring me around your friend, I'm gonna check your friend. And you know, I'm not afraid to bust his ass upside his head. Okay. So the next time I saw the guy, you know, I confronted him about the situation, and he was just like, oh, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Bam. So I was like, okay. So y'all two motherfuckers are playing me. Y'all really playing me. Y'all really trying my set. And I had seen curses. I was like, you know, into the craft. I was always into the craft, honey, spell craft and stuff. But I had never really thrown down and put an actual curse on somebody's head. So I'm like, the only way for me to, well, the thing was also that this person wanted to continue being, Miss Starsky wanted to continue being my friend, and I wanted to wean off of this person, but still have my livelihood, you know, still have my place to rest and sleep, okay? Mind you, I was paying her boyfriend, her actual boyfriend, not Dave, which is her side piece. I was paying her boyfriend who owned the property. I was paying him for rent, but she was staying there as well on the property, on the premises. So I was like, I want this bitch gone. Okay, I want her gone. You know, I don't want her coming around here being all uber friendly with me. I don't want to go out with this bitch no more. But she was also the type of bitch that she was very rowdy, and she would like to, like, if she realized, you know, you didn't like her or whatever, like, she would try to make problems. And I've seen her do this with other people. So I'm like, okay, you're not gonna come around and make my living, you know, that I gotta come home and feel tension. So bitch, I'm gonna get your ass up out of here. And which is what I did. So I did, you know, I laid a curse on her head, a sickening ass curse, okay, to bind her and her little friend, the little crackhead, together. I wanted them bound together, and I wanted them drowning and suffering, okay, in the same shit, you know, because she wasn't like where her little friend, she wasn't where he was as far as like, because then he had a drug problem, and she didn't at that time. So bitch, I laid that curse on her ass, and the next thing you know, okay, she was doing coke. Okay, then coke turned into crack. Then she started like pushing shit, and then her boyfriend found out. Okay, well, she got arrested. The bitch got arrested on some charges. I don't remember what the charges was. Maybe possession, maybe distributing. But she got arrested. Her boyfriend dumped her, and bitch, she was gone. She was out of the picture. And the other guy, like, he had to end up like, I think he's on meth now, and he's like, I mean, he doesn't even look like himself. He doesn't even look like himself. He's on meth and just a continued waste of space and continue manipulating and trying to extort shit out of people like he is. They're both very parasitic, and they deserve each other. They deserve each other. So that was more simple, you know, like I laid into her and shit turned out like it was. Like the bitch lost everything. She was going to school. She was, you know, had a car. She was making money. Lost everything. And the boyfriend doesn't want her back. So her livelihood that she was so proud of and she thought she had over me, because she used to do that. Like, oh, well, girl, you know, you need to be like me when you grow up and get you a man who got some money and this and this. And used to say little things like that to me. And I would kind of look up to her, like at 19, you know, and be kind of misplaced because of sexuality and being out on your own and not really knowing, you know, who to lean on, who to trust. You can't really call nobody. It's like, okay, somebody takes you under their wing, you kind of look to them and you kind of look to please them and kind of keep them happy in a way. So yeah, the bitch was emotionally manipulative and abusive, and she was dealt with. So that's like my little beginning story. But now to turn it back to going in, and there have been many more heads that have been chopped after that, many more. And I will say this, like my dog was saying, you know, we as witches and magicians and practitioners, it's not that we just go around cursing people. I think for your curses to be successful and you to have clout in the spirit world, you have to, because you like that clout. Okay, I had to hit that. You have to, like, the spirits have to respect you. Okay, and I feel like, you know, people that run around here like, oh yeah, bitch, if you fuck with me, I'll throw a curse on your head and this and that, and just very boisterous about their shit. They're the ones who, you look at their lives and their lives are not together. They're constantly going through shit. They're constantly dealing with their own drama. It's like the curse, they throw so many curses out that the curses themselves become a part of their life and who they are, and they can get no peace. We don't have that. We don't have that problem, because you know why? When we throw and we go and we come for your head, it's justified. Trust. Okay, there's been a nice tan colored, you know, nude colored folder that we have been collecting on that ass of all the little fuck shit that you've been doing. Okay, the disrespect, the manipulation, you know, the whatever it is. And for the most part, I think both of us, and excuse me for speaking for both of us, but I will say that if we are also mature enough that if something is not befitting us with a person or someone else, we simply remove ourselves. I simply remove myself. I'm not just throwing a curse on a person for just, you know, I don't get along with that person or that person's just not my cup of tea. Like, it's not like that. It's when you get in, when I allow you to come in to my space, my energy, my life, and you pose to be someone who you're not, which is someone who is there for me or going to help me or going to be a friend, or I'm being a friend to you, and then you turn on me. No, bitch, you're gonna get this paya, honey, and it's gonna come. It's gonna manifest every single time. And you know what? We don't feel bad. We don't feel bad. We have a situation right now, going off of the Intrinsic Spirit reading, honey, laid a trap on my ex, and he's going through it right now. The motherfucker he has to go to the hospital because his body will not rest on him. He's having motherfucking all type of shit pop up on his ass that he's never had before. And you know what? I'm watching him crumble with a smile on my face, elated. You know, because it's like some people out here, they feel that they're invincible. They feel that, oh, because, they're on the other side of a screen, or because they're on the other side of this, or because they could just turn their back and walk away and not give you closure or an explanation, or they just trick people or stunt on people, and that they cannot be touched. And it's like sometimes the universe puts a person in your life to fuck your shit up and remind you to be humble, you know, to come back. And some people still don't learn, and that's okay. The curse will continue to fester. It will continue to breed. It will continue to destroy that person's life. So that's why we're saying, you know, we don't want to deal with curses. You know, you want to put a curse on somebody. We don't want to deal with no petty, you know, you just broke up with the person 2 weeks ago and now you want to, no. Or, you know, you don't like this person. No, it's like we want to do a curse on someone and we're going to ask you. We're going to have a consultation process. We're going to have a thorough consultation process. We might even do a reading on a situation. And where we want to see what's going on, what are the avenues, what's the time span, how, you know, what has happened. And we need to, you know, we need to, as empaths, we're also empaths, we need to feel your pain and your conviction for wanting to do this, because that is what's going to boost us to do it. Not that to say that we need that, but it's like we have to share in that. And we because you're asking us to take on the karmic hammer of justice. And if it's unjust, or if the shit is petty, or if it's not worth, you know, our energy and our time, we're not gonna do it. That's just my perspective. I'm not gonna do this shit.
I agree, definitely.
So yeah, is there, you know, you want to add on anything, or you want to take it in a different
Well,
direction?
I mean, we could do another story, another curse story.
Okay.
I could talk about when I was betrayed by a friend. You know, I was betrayed by a friend who I was really close to, and kind of like similar to your story, you know, she took me in. Okay, she took me in, and she then turned her back on me. She turned her back on me like she did not know me, okay? Living with her, living with this woman, okay? Living with this woman, and she completely just threw me under the bus. And I had to leave. I left, you know. And I did a curse on her when I got back home. I did a curse on her, and come to find out, this girl ended up catching STDs. Okay.
Yeah.
She ended up leaving where she lived. She ended up moving out of her house, the house that you know I was staying with her in, and the house completely just was destroyed. Okay, the house, the plumbing went to shit. I put a curse on the house, and I put a curse on her and her mother. Okay.
Yes.
Her and her mother is now sick, dying. Okay, has Crohn's disease. She gets these ass type of like what are they called? It's this thing that yeah, but it has a fistula. She gets fistulas in her butthole and next to her butthole, because her intestines, they're basically inflamed, and they kind of like create pathways in her body trying to open up and bust. So like her intestine will create a canal that will lead to her skin, that will lead to the surface of her skin, then creates a bubble and then explode.
Yes.
So that is what she has to deal with, okay? And I haven't checked up on her, so I don't know if she's even alive right now. But yeah, that curse was justified, okay? She betrayed me. And it's always the ones that you know, I attack people who I let in. It's like you said, I let in, and I thought you were like my friend, my like family, because family is not always blood, okay? You can have friends that are really close to you that you consider them family. Like for the time that I knew her, she was the closest that I had in the city that I lived in. I didn't know anybody up there, okay? And her and I developed a really good friendship. And she just, from one day, it was like literally from one day to the other, she just switched up on me. I don't even know why to this day. I don't have closure on the situation. I don't. Okay. But I laid into her ass, and I did a sickening curse, and it was a curse that lasted a week. I won't get into the details, but it was a working. It wasn't just a one-time, you know, spell or ritual. It was a working that lasted quite a few days. And I did involve dead animals, dead animals were involved, okay? And they were insects. They were insects. They weren't like, chickens or anything like that. They were insects because this was a dark ritual. Insects were involved. And I even had a dream that night that I was in this outside and it was like a warehouse behind me, something like that. And I looked to the floor and there was a pond, a little pond on the floor, like a little puddle type of little pond situation going on. And there was a bat that was flapping its wings on the water. And I looked up what that meant. And it absolutely meant that my curse had manifested.
Yes.
And I also want to talk about the two-way path or the two-way street that curses also have, that when, I don't want to say that this is like 100%, but at least with this curse that I did on this ex-friend of mine, there was a two-way street that I did get a little bit affected by what I did to her. You know what I'm saying? And I did get a little sick, okay, for 2 days, but it was worth it. I will sacrifice if I have to be a little bit, have a stuffy nose or and see, I had like phlegm. Okay, I did the ritual. I did the working, and then I had like phlegm the next day or something like that. I kind of felt like sick, and it was so weird because I was just home. I was home like for 2 to 3 weeks, and I with no outside connection to the world, and I got sick. Right after I did the ritual, and I had a coughed up phlegm that had black. It had black, like something like black, a black line in it or something like black, some type of black formation in there, which never happened in my whole life. But I knew that was confirmation that my working had gone through, because that was some black magic that I did. That was a dark working that I did, okay? And I got sick, man. And you know what? It was a two-way street. So I was getting a little percentage of what she was experiencing, and that was my confirmation that what I had put out there was no joke. And literally 2 days later, I was good. Okay, so once again, if I have the conviction and I have the desire to destroy you, I will take a little bit of pain. I will take a little bit to kill you. And you know what? That's very I guess I won't disclose my sign on here, but that's very much my sign that I will sacrifice myself. I will take you down. If I gotta go down too, I will destroy you if I have to. If I have to jump off that cliff and grab your ass and we both get up, then that's what the fuck, for the greater good of this world, because you ain't shit and this world will be better off without you, then yeah. But guess what? I will rise.
Yes.
And I will climb back up that fucking mountain and I will be good, okay? And you'll be dead. That's what the fuck it is. So that's a curse that I did on her. And yeah.
Mama, this show is sickening. I'm sorry. Like, I'm clowning right now.
Yeah, and
all right.
And I
so
can.
I'll do one more story time, and then we should wrap this video
Okay.
up.
See, because I got like stories and stories of people I've child.
What we'll do is, if you guys like this video, okay, and you like the story time, curses story time, let us know in the comment section. Let us know, and we'll possibly come and make this a little series about bitches, the Scalp Chronicles.
Yes.
The Scalp Chronicles, who have been scalped and for what? All right, so I'll just do one more, and then we will. I don't know if we need to say anything else about curses or whatever the case may be. If you guys have questions, leave them down in the
description box.
Comments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the comments.
I'm sorry, the comments. Yeah.
And all right. Last one. So I had been online. I was coming out online, and I was on Instagram. This is a cyberbullying type story or whatever. How I had to get a bitch back. And let me tell you something. Be very mindful. Be very mindful of who you clown online. You never know who people really are. You really don't. And see, some people, they're very miserable, and that they like to go and harass and cyberbully and just antagonize people. And it's like, you think because you're on the other side of a computer screen, you know, that you're safe. And you don't even have to have your default. You don't even have to have your real name. Bitch, that login that you log into every day and that logo that's on your platform that is yours every day, that has connection to you. That is I said the word earlier today. It's a focal point, okay? That is a focal point to you. So don't ever think that you're safe if you're out here antagonizing and harassing and just really dogging out people online. You never know who you're dealing with. So that's how we start off this story. So, bitch, I was online and I was a part of a little Facebook group. This Facebook group was oriented towards, like myself, I'm trans people, and to which, yeah, there were like a whole group of us, allies, things, and this and this and that. So I was following. I had seen a girl on there who she was on YouTube, and this is before I even thought of YouTube or thought to get on YouTube. But I was following this girl on YouTube, and I really liked the content that she put out. I was admirable of her. Really, I was. The things that she spoke about and the experiences that she shared, very similar to mine. So I was like, okay, seems like we could be cool. Reached out to the girl. Now, this girl, okay, she had some sort of racial, superiority complex in her mind. She was not white. She was, well, she looked white. She was white passing, but she kind of would set this tone about herself that she was mixed. Okay, and claim what you claim, girl. But truth be told, now they do have ways that you can offer receipts, aka Ancestry.com and also genealogy, whatever those things are called, girl. So you can get receipts now to back your claim. But as far as I'm looking at you, you're not black to me. So basically, she would post things on her page and in the Facebook group that was just it was very slighting to African American minority groups. You know what I'm saying? It was always like, and it's like, girl, you kind of coming across real bigot or whatever the case. That was my internalized problem with her. I never made that known to her, but as a black person, it is gonna slight me if I see you posting some sort of shit like that. So, cut a long story short, she pulled some shady shit on my page. Okay, I had posted a picture or something, and she said something really out of character. Oh, she made an emoji face that was just really it was kind of out of character. And so, yeah, like I checked her in the inbox or whatever the case may be. And to which she just went in and was saying like all this really racist and bigot shit. And then she blocked me. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, but so you think like that's just the end of it. You know what I'm saying? You think you're just gonna like, yes, and I know this is very petty. But see, the universe sends people in your life for a reason, and you have to watch yourself. You have to watch yourself and who the fuck you're talking to, and the type of way that you're talking to, and you think you could just, okay, like I'm just gonna, demean you and just deteriorate you, bitch, through words, honey, and bam, cut you off. Now you're done. You have nothing to say. You have no comeback, no nothing. You're just done. Like, what? Okay, so you think you're invincible behind your little block, and I'm going to show you how I can go around that through the back door and up into your ass. Okay, up into your asshole. And that is what I did. I laid a sickening curse on her. Okay, and with my curses, it's like this. See, that one over there, Miss Raina over here, her curses it's gonna fuck up your health. Like, I've seen her shit come for the girls' health in their bloodline. My curses it fucks up, like it makes you get into something that really changes you. It really alters your personality, like drugs. Okay, because this bitch is now a meth head. Okay, and the YouTube is no more. That little whole facade and that little aspiration that you had, that trajectory that you were going in, is no more. Okay, you're basic, and you're a meth head. Okay, so it's like it's funny how they sort of manifest. Now, with my curses, it's like I go in with the intent to just drown your ass in the blackness. sometimes they can be specific to where I'm like, okay, have this and this and this go in on a person. like Raina over here, she does, honey. She has the recipe on deck. She has it going specific. But in my case scenario, so that was pretty much, I mean, she's just, it's like I don't even care anymore. Like it was done. The bitch has been demolished, and it's kind of like on to the next. And that's how you have to be when you come to us, or if you're performing curses yourself. Yes, you keep up with the person, and we did that. Like we checked up on our, do we call them victims? They're not victims, honey, because it's usually people sometimes bring the shit on themselves. Like, girl, don't be going around here trying to fuck up other people, girl, just thinking you're gonna ride off into the sunset, honey. The girls will come. So
but I want to give a little one really quick. One more really quick.
Girl.
And like I said, we got so many, right? We got so many, honey. I know we got so many, honey. We could be out here for 5-6 hours.
Let's make a chronicle.
We'll do, yeah, but we'll do one more. And because you brought up the racial experience with this person, and I also had a racial situation where this person was inquisitive of my background, and when I told them, they basically were like, "Oh, nigger naps," you know.
Yes.
And it took me aback. I was like, I didn't even know how to respond. They wanted, you know, I was like, well, I'm well aware of my African ancestry, honey. You know what I'm saying? I think they wanted to kind of shame me in front of everybody, because when I disclosed my background, you know, it's like, oh, that explains why your hair is like that. So they was like, oh, nigger naps, you know. So basically, and we actually did this ritual at your house, okay? And it was a very simple ritual, extremely simple. And but I'll give you a little tea. We took a childhood picture, so we'll go back to your fucking childhood, okay? We will go back to your to the most innocent time of your life, honey, and go
that
in
that
foundation point. So we got oh yes, we got a childhood picture of him, honey, and we got right into that fucking noggin. And guess what? A few weeks later, he got into a really bad car accident. Okay,
yes,
was laid the fuck out. Yes, and you got that tea, okay? Somebody called her. Somebody called you and told you so and so got laid the fuck out in a fucking car accident, okay? Right then and there. And bam, that's the confirmation that we got. So, you know, we are no joke, okay? Our work is accurate. It is authentic, straight to the point. Yes. We don't play no games over here. We play for keeps up in this motherfucker, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it's truth be told. I mean, and that's why we said at the forefront of this video, you know, it's gonna take some coin. This is not for some petty, you know, if you ain't really serious, we want serious clientele because, and you know, hit us up in the DMs on our Instagram page for prices and quotes.
Absolutely.
But make sure when you come to this, you're ready, because you're getting two heads. You're not just getting one. So whatever is going to happen is definitely going to be magnified. And it's going to be supreme. So
absolutely.
That's just all we have to say. We're going to follow up with doing love work. We're going to follow up because we do offer those services as well. We're also going to follow up with a money ritual, how our money rituals work. Okay. And thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, you know, like the video.
Yes.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.